Welcome back to the Analogy Lab. This is video 4.1, Copilot versus Agents, a plain English guide to proactive AI in Microsoft 365. What you see on screen tells the story. On the left, the reactive cockpit, where the Copilot waits. On the right, the proactive cabin, where the agents are already working. By the end of this video, you will understand the difference instinctively, not because you read a definition, but because you recognize the moment. Let's get into it. The water before you knew you were thirsty. Think about your last long flight. A flight attendant appeared beside your seat and placed water on your tray table. You had not pressed the call button. They were not responding to a request. They were reading the cabin, knowing what passengers need at this point in the journey, and acting on it. That flight attendant is a Copilot agent. The most confused distinction in Microsoft 365. Most technical explanations make the difference between Copilot and agents more confusing. Here is the reality. Look at the two images on screen. On the left, the Copilot in the cockpit. The speech bubble says, waiting for the instruction, hands in lap. It waits for you to speak, completes the instruction, and waits again. On the right, the flight attendant already walking the aisles. The speech bubble says, already walking the aisles. Briefed before the flight, reading the cabin, acting on what they observe without waiting for the pilot to call down. Copilot does what you ask. Agents do what you would have asked. The three roles on the aircraft: the pilot, you, always in command. Nothing happens without you. You set the destination and make every call. Copilot never acts without your instruction. You own every output. The Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, fully trained on every instrument, sits beside you, does exactly what you ask when you ask it. The Copilot does not change. The instrument in front of them does. The flight attendants, Copilot agents, working in the cabin on standing instructions set before takeoff, walking passengers to their seats and delivering what is needed before a hand is raised. Copilot versus agents at a glance. Copilot. The Copilot responds when the pilot asks, requires a cockpit instruction, one interaction at a time. The pilot is in the conversation, reactive, the Copilot in the right seat. Agents, the flight attendants, act without being asked, runs on standing orders set in advance, monitors, decides, and acts continuously. The pilot may not even be aware it is running. Proactive. The flight attendant already in the aisle. The bottom line, Copilot is reactive. Agents are proactive. The cabin crew at work. Agents are already running in organizations using Microsoft 365. The passenger never raises their hand. 4 real agents. 4 seats being served right now. The onboarding agent. Monday morning, before the new employee arrives, the agent has sent the welcome email, added calendar invites, and queued the IT setup request. The inbox agent. A manager receives dozens of emails. The agent monitors the inbox, identifies client escalations, drafts responses for review, and flags urgent items before end of day. The SharePoint knowledge agent. An employee asks about the parental leave policy. The agent reads the HR library and returns a plain English answer with source links. The approvals agent. The agent monitors the finance queue, sends 48-hour reminders to approvers, escalates approaching deadlines, and logs all actions to the tracking list. Building your crew from the ground up. You do not start from zero. Microsoft provides a skeleton crew the moment you activate Copilot. 3 tiers, each one shown as a step on screen. Tier 1, Microsoft pre-built agents, the skeleton crew. Researcher, analyst, and app-specific agents come standard, already on board. You did not build them, they just showed up. Tier 2, Agent Builder, the simple tier. Brief a flight attendant in plain English. For straightforward agents answering questions from specific data sources. Built in minutes directly inside Microsoft 365. Tier 3, Copilot Studio, the full tier. Train a full crew for long-haul flights. Complex agents with custom instructions, integrations, and governance controls. Built by IT teams and power users, the captain remains in command. Are agents just doing whatever they want? No. Agents operate entirely within the standing orders the captain set before takeoff. Look at the diagram. Cockpit settings and user intent on the left. The boundary line in the middle. Agent actions on the right, operating freely within the space the captain defined, but unable to cross the boundary. An agent does not decide what to do based on its own judgment. It follows the instructions it was given. It accesses only what it is permitted to see. It escalates to the pilot for anything outside its standing orders. Agents extend the reach of the captain. They do not replace the captain's judgment. 3 principles before boarding. 1. The brief dictates the quality. An agent is only as good as its standing orders. A vague brief produces a vague crew member. Clear instructions, specific data sources, and defined outputs produce precise service. 2. Find the crew already on board. Before building anything, open Microsoft 365 Copilot and look at the available agents. Use the skeleton crew first. Build additional crew only when the skeleton crew falls short. 3. Fix the environment first. An agent deployed into a SharePoint site with disorganized or outdated content will give incorrect answers. The agent reads what exists. Prepare the library before the crew goes to work in it. Pro tip: the fastest way to experience an agent. Open Microsoft 365 Copilot and locate the researcher or analyst agent in the agent list, shown on screen as the highlighted options. Give it a topic you are currently working on and ask it to research or analyze the subject. You are not prompting the standard Copilot. You are working with an agent that has specific capabilities and standing orders. Notice the immediate difference in how it works compared to a standard Copilot conversation. That difference is the distinction this entire video has been building toward. Status: boarding. Video 4.2. The crew goes to work. Copilot does what you ask. Agents do what you would have asked before you knew you needed it. Coming next in video 4.2, watch real agents execute real scenarios in the cabin, without the captain having to call down from the cockpit. This is the Analogy Lab. Subscribe and I will see you in the cabin for video 4.2.